What's going on, guys? It is the Coaster Battleman here, bringing you an awesome video. The Wheel of Coasters. I am building a coaster collection using coaster types or coaster models, as I like to say. There are several different types of coasters in here. So let's move on and see what coasters we get. I'm doing 10 spins for 10 coasters. And let's move on. This is our first spin in. We get a Vekoma Boomerang to start out, which is, yeah, yucky. Vekoma Boomerangs, they're all over the place. And they're like the most popular things ever, so hooray for Vekoma Boomerangs. Moving on. And we get another pretty bad coaster, an Aero Mine Train. Aero Mine Trains, some are decent rides, while most are, yeah, not that good. Moving on to our third spin. So far, this coaster collection is pretty bad. Unless we can change it around with a GCI. We needed a wooden coaster here. GCI Woody. I'm expecting, I think it would be a thrilling wooden coaster, because we already got the family coaster of the park. And we got a roller coaster model of choice. That's like the best thing here. I can choose any coaster I want. I'm going with a B&M Giga. Some people might go Intamin Blitz, but I'm a bigger fan of Gigas. So, moving on to the next coaster. An Aero Hyper Coaster, something similar to Magnum. Alright, I got a Hyper Coaster now, so not too bad. I feel like it just depends on which Hyper Coaster from Aerodynamics you have rode for you to like it or not. And we get Aero Mine Train again. We can't do that because we have already one Aero Mine Train. But we get an invert, B&M invert. I would go with a modern style invert over the older inverts because they're smoother. I like the restraints better, and overall it's better. We have 4 spins left, and we get a stand-up coaster, the B&M stand-up. B&M stand-ups, they aren't too bad when you think about it, because it is B&M, so it's going to be not as rough as probably a Togo stand-up, which those rides are awful. And we get a wooden boomerang. That's like a Gravity Group wooden coaster. It's a pretty cool ride. It's this ride at ZDT. It's called Switchback. That's like the only wooden boomerang out there. And we have 2 more spins left. And we get an RMC hybrid. That is amazing for this collection. And we got the final spin. I really hope we get something really good for the last spin. And we get a dive coaster from B&M. That is a good collection right here. So far, for overall my coaster collection, Vekoma Boomerang and Aero Mine Train, those are probably some of my worst coasters. But I got 2 great coasters and a GCI Woody, and I got a coaster of choice. So I picked a B&M Giga. An Aero Hyper, it fits the hyper coaster category, so I'm not going to be too mad at having an Aero Hyper, but it is one of the worst coasters in this collection. A B&M invert is a great ride, stand-up, and it's alright, depending on how it is. A wooden boomerang, an RMC hybrid, and a B&M dive coasters. So those last 3 are all really good. So I have like a top 6 here. The stand-up is probably the 7th best coaster, then the Aero Hyper, then the boomerang, then the Aero Mine Train. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.